It's way too much. And we'll put a little bit of 0.5. A little bit of randomness on that velocity. The spread is obviously too much. I think about 15 degrees is generally okay. Cool. I might just bring that collision shape down by 1 pixel. Cool. And remind me to turn... Actually, we don't need to turn that off because it's not going to be part of the scene. Okay, so what happens when we shoot? Good question. Shoot game state. Okay, so this is the controls emit signal. Okay, so the player should be listening for the shoot. Okay, so here we're going to say something similar, and we're going to say controls.connect, and we're going to listen to the shoot signal, and just adjusting my desk a bit. Okay, so we're going to connect the shoot signal, and we're going to call self on controls shoot, right? And in fact that can go up there, and we can put that up here. Cool. So now we just need to implement this handler. Cool. We'll just make a little section down here called handlers and implement that. So we'll go func on controls area shoot, and I think we're going to need to have our strength and our player number, which we don't care about. Strength. The reason we don't care about it is that we only listen to our own controls, and our controls are only going to emit shoot signals that apply to us. However, it is fathomable that components in the game will listen to both controls. For instance, a sound manager might listen to the shoot event of both players, and then they will need that information, right? Okay, so let's have a look at our controls. I want to make sure when we... Oh, someone. Okay. I think I'm going to remove these. Maybe, yeah. At least remove that one from the workspace, because that was our prototype. And I think we've got everything that the prototype has, so we don't need it anymore. Okay. So what's happening now? Player number, shoot strength. So in reality we want to do this. Before we set it to null, we want to send it in the signal right? So that's basically what weapon we are currently firing. So now game state. And then we immediately set it to null once we've, but I might just, for some reason, yeah, okay. Keep it there. All right, keep it there. All right, so we get the player number, the strength of the shoot, and we get the type of weapon. So right now we don't care about the type, or because we've only ever got a missile at the moment. And what we do here is we say, screw it. Let's do a switch on that type. Godot switch statement. I don't think Godot does have switch. Does it? Match. Match. Is it? Cool. All right. Well, we may as well do that. And there's an else. Is there? Underscore. Okay. You go in Erlang styles or Elixir styles. Okay. So underscore print. We're just going to print unknown weapon type. And you know what? I'm thinking maybe we delegate to like a weapon firing class. We'll do it later. We'll do it later. Okay. So if it's missile, then we say fire missile, right? And here we'll just create a section for weapons, and we'll say func fire missile, and it's going to take strength. So, cool. And that's actually really easy. We're just going to say var missile is equal to a missile instance, right? And then we're going to say the missile dot position is equal to our position, and the missile dot rotation is equal to our rotation. And then we can say get parent add child missile, and then we're going to say missile dot apply impulse. No, apply central impulse. And we're just going to say, in fact, we might just say the missile.strength equals strength, and the missile can determine what it does, right? We don't need to do much more than that. You just tell it what strength it should be doing, and then it will figure it out itself. I think that's the best way to do this. And then we just need to load the missile from the file system. So we'd say const missile is equal to the preloaded resource at weapons, missile, missile, right? Weapons, missile, missile, okay. And then we just need to add the missile script with a strength value. So let's jump into missile and attach script. Oops. Up here. Cool. Save, close. What are you complaining about? Can't preload. Tscene. .tscene. Right. Okay. And then, so now let's jump into the missile code. So we want to export a float var of strength, and it's going to be equal to 0 by default. 0.0. On ready, I think we just apply a central impulse, and here let's export another float. It's var, and let's just close that scene, otherwise it'll eat our CPU. Export, and we'll just say impulse multiplier. Multiplier, and we'll default that, let's just say like 10. I don't really know what it's going to be, but we'll figure it out soon enough. Okay, and so when the node is ready, we want to apply a central impulse at vector 2, 0 on the x-axis, and we mess with that negative up there. And we'll just say strength times the impulse multiplier. And why is that complaining? Yeah, func. And we need another parentheses. Okay. Why are you complaining now? Vector 2, impulse multiplier isn't declared. Impulse multiplier. Cool, alright. So that code, I believe, should create the missile. When we shoot, no missile. Okay. Unknown weapon type. That's odd. Okay, so that's why you always handle these, right? Let's just print. Oh, it's the strength first, and then the type. Okay, I collided with itself. But definitely shot. Okay, cool. Fantastic. So we've now got our first projectile. It's not really doing much. We need to apply a velocity to it, I think. a constant velocity to it. Also, that impulse was way too strong. Okay, let's just tweak that. Let's tweak that. Okay, so maybe that was like a full strength missile. Maybe we just keep that down at like 1. And then on physics process, in fact, just integrate forces, right? We can just apply a central impulse, and that's going to be or oops, maybe what is it? Apply force. Apply central impulse, torque impulse. Well, apply central impulse, okay. And we'll say sustain multiplier. So I think the sustain multiplier will essentially be about half. No, maybe about 10%. Because that's happening every frame. And let's just call this, sustain multiplier. So basically, we've got, let's call this initial multiplier. Initial multiplier, right? Just to be clear. And then we have a sustain multiplier, and we might say, okay. The state, yeah, okay. We don't need the state, so we can put an underscore there. So I think the first problem is that we're colliding with our own missile, which is kind of ridiculous. And it's now getting stuck as well, which is kind of weird. We'll figure that one out. Oh, okay, that's why it was acting so weird. So what we actually have to do, I forgot, is we have to rotate each of these vectors by our own rotation, right? Otherwise, things are going to get weird. Rotation, okay. Okay, and then I shoot. Boom. Okay, that felt pretty good. What if I shoot like really quickly and I don't really okay, it's quite slow then. Smack. That's quite cool. Oh, I love it. So the missile is able to pick up stars. And you know, I kind of think that's cool. I think you should be able to shoot and pick up stars, and just like Crash Bandicoot, Crash Team Racing, right? You can pick up the collectibles by just shooting them. Okay, so you can see now the missile has like a constant velocity, even though okay, there's one more weapon there. So if I do sort of like a middle strength, okay, that's quite a good so ridiculous. I love it. Okay, that's quite a good speed. I think that's pretty good. I might actually just allow the missile to bounce once. Maybe. I think that's kind of cool. Alright, but I think that the essentially the missile logic is in place. We just need to handle the collisions now.